Welcome back to Old School Jiu-Jitsu. My name is Professor Taylor, or Gilbert, whatever you feel comfortable with. And this is actually the third video of my Jiu-Jitsu series that I'm teaching. Now, with that being said, last week I taught the transition into the full mount. And we'll go a little farther and add a couple more techniques to that drill, if you will. And with that, I want to give a shout out to my son, my daughter, my granddaughter, and my nephew, which have all done these drills that I'm going to teach you, these techniques. And some more than others. And I'll tell you that they work. They're good for not only transitioning to different techniques, but for a real life situation if you have a person on the ground. So with that being said, I really hope that these videos are landing to the audience that I'm trying to convey to. What I've realized is I'm learning to balance the teaching aspect and my personality, because I want you to feel welcome, but at the same time I want to convey that I'm knowledgeable in the jiu-jitsu that I'm teaching so you can learn. And I'm really hoping I'm getting that balance. Third video, still learning. So I guess with that being said, let's begin. Now, the first video that I actually made, I said that if you don't have a grappling dummy, you use a pillow. So, that being said, I actually brought out one of my body pillows, which I will get right now. Here we go. Bam. And I said that if you don't have a grappling dummy, get your pillow. Now I'm going to show you how you can use it for the people who like to train, but you don't have quite the money to put into a grappling dummy just yet. So, give me 1 second, guys. Gotta get the water in. Good to have around. Okay, here we go. So, let's start from the beginning. Last time I taught, we were actually in the full mount. Full mount was hand on each side. I'd say about shoulder to a little farther than shoulder width apart. Their feet either on the toes or on the balls. Knees slightly out. And you're here. Now from here, we're going to transition back to side control. And with that, what I want you to do is I want you to secure the head behind the neck, keeping this hand down. And if you're going up the left side, what you're going to do is you're going to move your right leg across the person's lower torso. But when you do it, you don't want to just lift it up like this. Because if you lift it up like that, basically they're going to retain their guard by grabbing your leg, pulling it down in between their two legs, and they'll begin to start establishing their guard again. So with that, you want to keep your leg closer to their torso, attached to the torso. So what you do is you bring your foot across, keeping your knee on the torso, across the body and bring it to where the ball is touching the ground down here. So you here, across the body, you bring it down, and when you do that, don't forget, control the head, across the body down, and then once you slide your knee off the torso, you widen your legs again, and then you do the gable grip, the over-under that I taught. Now from here, what you're going to do is what you call scarf hold sit-outs. What you're going to do is you're going to use your hips and you're going to sit on the side of your right hip outward. That's this way here. So it's going to look like this. It's going to you're gonna slide this leg out slightly, and then this leg will be tucked in and down like so. Now from here, you want your leg parallel to the person's body and this knee up like this, up and down here. Now let me tell you that this version of scarf hold sit out is a little different than what some people teach, especially wrestlers, because in wrestling what they teach is you grab the head here like a headlock position. But I will tell you that in jiu-jitsu, this is not a good way to do this position, because the person underneath could be very flexible, and then they can kind of use their hips to roll out, grab, and take your back with their legs. But if you're underneath the armpit here, with the elbow down, and you're here, with the arm here, you're a lot more in control. So we're going to do this version of scarf hold sit out. Okay, so from here, what you're going to do is you go into a north-south position. And what I mean by that is follow me in the steps. Lift this leg up, bring this leg out. From here, you're going to use this hand and you're going to bring it to the opposite side of the body there. And you're going to lower your chest onto your opponent. And then at that point, what you're going to do is you're going to have both legs on each side of the head. I'm going to move this pillow up and down to show you with a different angle in just a second. So I'm here, and then I come over here. But I will show you this angle here. So if I was here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my legs, bring this over to the opposite side of the head, lower my chest on the person's body here, and then what you got is this. You got one hand here, one hand here. Bam. And here you're in a north-south position. Now, from here, I'm going to add one more movement. This movement is a scarf hold sit out, but on the opposite side. Don't forget, you started here. From here, you transitioned into the north-south here. And then from here, what you're going to do is I'm going to move this again. Okay? You're here, and you're going to transition to here. And essentially, you have the elbow down, tight to the person's torso. This knee will be tight to the person's torso on the opposite side. The knee will be straight up and down. This foot will be in front. And you'll be leaning. You want to lean kind of into your opponents. This hand will be underneath the armpit. This hand will be securing the person's arm on the side of your opponent's arm. And you're here. This is where you're going to stop. So one more time. We'll go back over here, okay? you're here. This is where you begin. Remember, you started here, over, under, side control. You left this arm down. You moved your hips into this position where this leg is parallel to the torso. Knee straight up and down. Elbow here. You're here. You're kind of leaning into the opponent. From here, you move your legs like so. Bring this hand over here and go into a north-south position. Here. From here, you turn again. Elbow down alongside your opponent. Knee alongside the torso. Or leg alongside the torso, rather. Knee straight up and down. Hand grabbing the arm. You're here. And this hand, don't forget, is to be underneath the armpits, because that helps secure the person down, and you'll be leaning kind of forward into the person, like so. We're going to stop here because that's a lot of movements. And from here, we're going to another couple movements next time. And basically, what this is a drill called Around the World. My students, as well as my family, knows what that means when I ask for it. And just to give you an idea of where I'm going with this, I'll give you a little of some of the drills that I do in doing this, to kind of show you that an old man with a little more weight can still move around the mat like he needs to, given the situation. So here we go. I'll give you a little taste of that. So no more of this guy. We'll bring this guy back down. Okay. And here we go. So this is a little what you'll be learning once you put everything together and you have the techniques for the drill. So here we go. All right, guys, we'll stop there. Don't add too much today, but just want to give you a version of where we're going with this, and hope you enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, then gently hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.